When we talk about smartphones, that small palm-sized computer that everyone have. One of the first thing that came to our mind is, well, it actually differs from one person to another. It may be video games, social media, or any kind of streaming services. These are just some of the common things, but from all these activities mentioned, the similarity that they have is they all are activities that you do alone. So for study purposes, we decided to ask around to see how people really uses their smartphones.
Using short and simple words, how do you describe one advantage of your smartphone?
Advantage of smartphone, I think it helps us to connect to people that are far from us.
Uh, I think using my smartphone, I can easily search for educational materials like when I'm doing assignments, I can search for news and so on like that.
I think one of the most known advantage of using the smartphone is I can get the recent issue from around the world.
Recent issues. So, do you know about the issues of net neutrality that happened recently in the US?
No.
No. Then how about the issues of the embassy in Jerusalem, Palestine? The conflict happened there.
No.
Then how about you know about the K-pop idol that recently commit suicide?
Oh yeah, that one I know.
So can you show us your phone's call log?
My phone's color. Okay.
When's the last time do you call your mother?
My mother.
So when?
2 minggu lepas lah.
Serious ah?
Oh.
So can you show us the last thing that you Google?
Sure. Not yet.
Although this is not a scientific studies, but it really goes to show that people mostly knows and even try to convince themselves that they are using smartphones properly, but little did they know that their words does not justify their actions.
Initially, smartphone was created to help people or to make people life easier, such as giving information, connecting people, and many more. But ironically, nowadays smartphone also give a lot of bad effects to the people. For example, like when you're driving a car, and you check your phone, this situation will put your life in danger and others' life, because you lose your full attention to the traffic. So from the topic that we learned in our class, smartphone now turn into a blameworthy knowledge.
I think the best advantage of smartphone is that you always have it with you no matter where you go, right? But I personally think that that is the biggest disadvantage of it as well. This is because when you become too attached to it, it will distract you much more than you realize. So the example that we can get through this problem, that we can relate to what we have learned in the Islamic civilization, is that this problem can lead to the declining of strong brotherhood. How? It's because when we're too attached to our phone, it will disturb the bond and weaken the bond of us and the people around us. So the second example that we can get through this problem is that it will also lead to the declination of moral ethics in human. This is because nowadays people tend to spread fake news or rumors about other people in the social media, for example. So this is obviously not good, because the people that are involved in the news will get hurt, and we should really check the news first before spreading it. And this kind of this lack of empathy in people really shows the declination of moral ethics in human.
Smartphone contain a lot of things. You can learn calculator, and the most common thing is camera and music player. This mobile phone is actually beneficial to us. However, in Islamic perspective, there are some restrictions on listening to music and sharing photo. Music, which arouse our sexual desire, is prohibited in Islam. In Surah Luqman, chapter 31, verse number 6, it is end of mankind is he who purchased idle talk, music, singing, to mislead men from the path of Allah. So this kind of song is actually contradict to the Islamic perspective and should be avoided for us to hear the song. Secondly, people nowadays love to take photos. They will take photo before they eat, and even selfie in the toilet. And we love to share photos on the internet. We share photos in Facebook, in Snapchat, Instagram, and other social media that we have. But sometimes we doesn't realize that we actually share an inappropriate photos or uncovered aura. According to Islam, it is compulsory for us to cover our aura, and exposing them is regarded as a sin.
So if we use smartphones in a good way, we can get so many benefits and advantage from it. As example, the presence of e-learning. Students can get so many advantage and benefits from it because they can just Google anything about their studies or anything that they want. Then smartphones also can strengthen the bond between humans by the presence of social media. People can interact more often with each others. Then smartphones can remind us of Allah by downloading such apps as Muslim Pro. They will notify us when the praying time is arrived. Then that apps also can give a suggestion for us to read one verse or one surah.
There are a lot of disadvantages while using smartphone. We can overcome this by, for example, avoid using smartphone while we are eating with our family. This is a family time. We have to spend it together. At the same time, we should not be an outdated person. We should use our smartphone as a medium to get the latest issue. To get the current issues. For example, the latest issues of our brothers Muslim in Palestine. We should avoid using our social media to share fake news and spread lies and hate. For example, Donald Trump. He loved to share an Islamophobic message to all his followers by using his Twitter.
Mostly people knows about the importance of smartphones or how smartphones can be beneficial to their daily life, but instead they chose not to do it, or they chose to indulge themselves in the wrong side of smartphones. Like they choose to spend their days scrolling social medias or just watching random videos on YouTube, so on. Number one. Number two, smartphone is not the main cause of social problems or moral decadence in the society, so to speak. But smartphone is like became a platform for people to do so. Like for example, as a metaphor, drugs were used as a medicine. Even until now, drugs are basically medicine, but people came out with ways to misuse drugs, and now we have drugs problem in our society. I think that's pretty much how smartphones are becoming right now. So as a conclusion for this project, first of all, we should educate people on the ways to make a good use of smartphone for the betterment of themselves, and also we need to make people realize the importance of knowing how to use smartphones wisely and properly as a technological device.